You've probably used an AI chatbot, right? Well, we're in the middle of this huge shift, moving way beyond those simple bots to something way more powerful. AI agents that can basically act like coworkers. So, what does that really mean? Let's get into it. I mean, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? We have access to this absolutely genius level technology, but for the most part, we're using it for pretty simple stuff. You ask a question, it gives you an answer. That's it. But the real revolution, the thing we're here to talk about, starts when AI stops just answering and actually starts doing. And that's the real difference right here. A chatbot is totally reactive. It just sits there waiting for you to ask something so it can give you an answer. It's a one and done kind of deal. An agent, though, that's a whole different ballgame. It's proactive. It doesn't just talk, it can plan, it can carry out complex, multi-step tasks. It works towards a goal. It's not a conversationalist, it's a coworker. Okay, so if these agents are the future, what exactly makes them tick? What's under the hood that makes them so incredibly powerful? Let's take a look. The best way to think about this is like you're hiring a new team member. So first, you've got the brain. That's the super powerful AI model itself, like Anthropic's Claude Opus. Then it needs memory, not just remembering your last chat, but actual structured knowledge of your goals and how you work. Third, it needs tools. You got to give it access to software to actually do its job. And finally, the real magic ingredient, autonomy. The power to reason, to adapt, to try things on its own. That's what turns a simple tool into a true teammate. But here's the thing. A super smart generalist isn't always what you need. How do you make an agent a real expert in something specific without having to teach it from square one every single time? Well, the answer is pretty clever. Reusable skills. Anthropic's version of this is called agent skills. And you can think of them as these little pre-packaged kits of expertise. Each skill bundles together all the instructions, the resources, even code, to instantly turn that general-purpose agent into a specialist for a very particular job. And the benefits here are just huge. You can make an agent a specialist in finance, or coding, or marketing instantly. You build a skill once, and the agent can use it forever, so you're not constantly repeating yourself. And, this is the really cool part, you can chain these skills together to handle super complex jobs. It's all about making AI smarter and way more efficient. Honestly, the perfect analogy for a skill is an onboarding guide. It's not just a single command. It's the whole binder you'd hand to a new person on their first day. It's got all the instructions, the examples, the documents they need to do their job. The agent can just pull up that guide anytime it needs to, and you don't have to micromanage a thing. So everything's looking great, right? We've got agents, we've got skills, but a massive, messy problem started to emerge. Fragmentation. Everybody was building their own thing, in their own little world, and nothing could talk to each other. We desperately needed a common language. So here's what the AI world looked like. OpenAI had their own way of doing things, called function calls. Google had theirs, function declarations. Anthropic called theirs tools. They all basically did the same thing, but they were all slightly different. So a tool you built for GPT-4 was useless for a Claude agent. It was a nightmare for developers, who had to rebuild the same stuff over and over again. And then, everything changed. And it changed fast. In late 2024, Anthropic puts out this idea for an open standard. By early 2025, OpenAI is on board, and by the middle of the year, Google DeepMind joins in. I mean, think about that. In less than a year, the biggest names in AI all agreed to speak the same language. That just doesn't happen. And that solution, the standard that brought everyone together, was the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. And this is what changed everything. It was the key that finally unlocked a single connected ecosystem for all these AI agents. The absolute best way to get your head around MCP is to think of it like the USB-C port for AI, right? Before, it was a total mess of different plugs and adapters. Now, you've got one universal standard. You build a tool once, and boom, it can plug into any compatible agent out there. It was a total game changer. So we've got intelligent agents, we've got reusable skills to turn them into experts, and now we've got a common language so they can all use the same tools. That's the theory. But how does all this stuff actually get used in the real world by real businesses? Well, this is where products like Anthropic's Claude managed agents come into the picture.
It's a whole platform for big companies that handles all the complicated, messy infrastructure stuff and lets them just focus on building, deploying, and running their AI agents at a massive scale.
If you peek under the hood, the whole system is built on these four core ideas. You have the agent itself, which is like the blueprint. It runs inside a secure environment. Each job it does is a session, and all the back and forth communication happens through events. It's basically a complete structured operating system for your entire AI workforce. Now, for businesses, this is the killer feature. Before this, building the secure, scalable backbone for AI agents was a huge engineering project that could take months. With a platform like this, that development time gets slashed down to just a matter of days. That is an insane leap in efficiency. And if you're wondering if companies were buying into this, just look at this number. $30 billion. That's the kind of revenue Anthropic saw, and it tripled in just a few months. Why? Because businesses were lining up, demanding these advanced agent solutions. Okay, so we've seen the tech and we've seen the business case, but let's zoom out for the big picture. Why does this whole shift from simple chatbot to complex agent matter so much right now? It really all boils down to this. If you're a developer, it means you can build a tool one time and it'll work everywhere. For businesses, it means you're not locked into one AI provider, which seriously reduces risk. And for the rest of us, it means the foundation is finally in place for a whole new generation of AI applications, ones that are going to go so far beyond just chatting. So I'll leave you with this final thought. We are fundamentally shifting from a world where AI is a tool you consult to one where it's a coworker you delegate to. That's a profound change. The question really isn't if you'll use an AI agent anymore, but how. So what's the first job you're going to give it?